Hello, this is Captain Joel and welcome to my latest Marvel Puzzle Quest video. In this video we're going to be looking at one of the newer characters released, Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. They've gone on quite a character release spree the past week or so for the new Civil War movie. They've released Winter Soldier, a new 5-star Iron Man, and a new 5-star Captain America. So we're going to take a look at Winter Soldier first before looking at the other new characters. Winter Soldier is a 4-star character, not 5-star like the other new ones. So luckily we'll actually be able to use him sometime in the next 6 months instead of a year or two from now. Although by then he'll be useless. But he's actually a pretty interesting character. He has a mix of new moves and old moves in terms of what he brings to the table, and a somewhat less common color mix as well in the 4-star world. So first off, let's just cover the basics. So it's a pretty cool cover they chose. Rescued from death by Russian scientists in World War II, Captain America's partner, James Bucky Barnes, was brainwashed and turned into a deadly assassin, the Winter Soldier. After decades of dirty work, the Winter Soldier crossed paths with Captain America, who helped his old friend regain his memories and freedom. With his weapons expertise, deadly aim, and cybernetic arm, Bucky now works to redeem himself for his time spent as a tool of evil. So they've actually also recently added this new affiliations thing to each character's page, and you can be like a hero or a villain. You can be Team Cap or Team Iron Man, and those affiliations, you can also be Fantastic Four. So these affiliations do have an impact on the game. Right now, there's two main impacts. One is in the Civil War event itself. The characters that have affiliations with Team Cap will be boosted on Team Cap's side, and characters that are affiliated with Team Iron Man will be boosted on his side. But the more important affiliations impact is that, for example, Iron Man has a skill that if you have other Team Iron Man characters on your team, he'll do more damage. So that's the main addition of the affiliations section. So he's got 15,641 health at max level. Um, so a little bit more than some of the weaker characters, but not the higher tier either. So um, you know, pretty good there. He'll be able to survive long enough. So he's a purple, blue, red character. So his purple is actually a skill that we've really been looking for something like this in the 4-star world. It's a AP stealing move. So this costs 8 purple AP. The Winter Soldier fires an expert sniper shot to take out the enemy's weapons, giving Bucky a chance to strike again. Select a basic tile. Winter Soldier destroys that tile, dealing at 3 covers, 617 damage, and stealing 3 enemy AP of that color. So it's not really doing much damage, but it's pretty cheap, and you're able to steal 3 AP of that color. Um, so you can also have a little bit of board control, just like with Cyclops' red. If you only have 10 red AP and not 10 team up AP, he's able to destroy one specific tile. It can have some use and maybe help you cause another match or a cascade, although not that likely with just one tile, but it's possible. Um, so the only real difference you get from adding more covers is the damage goes up from uh, up to 892, so still not that much damage. And then if you were to add one more cover, you would steal 4 AP and deal 1400 damage. So it's a little bit more than double the damage and one more AP. But since the damage is so small, especially for the 4-star world, I think it's negligible and shouldn't come into the equation. And one extra AP, it's pretty useful in terms of the fact that you're now recovering half of your move cost. And remember, you're stealing it. So this means two things. One, the enemy actually has to have enough AP of that color to steal. And two, um, it's really like you're taking away and giving to yourself. Taking away from the enemy and giving to yourself. So it does have a somewhat bigger impact. But I think that, as we'll see, the other moves have such high damage differentials when you have them at 5 instead of 3 or 4 covers that it's really not worth having purple, his precision shot move at 5. But let's just take a look now at his other moves. So I'm going to show them to you in action in a little bit. So this is Detonator. This is 10 blue AP. So the Winter Soldier sets a series of booby-trapped explosives, creates a 3-turn blue countdown tile. That, remember, this is at 3 covers, and 4 random trap tiles. When the countdown tile reaches 0, destroy all of Winter Soldier's trap tiles, dealing 1,371 damage for each. If an enemy matches the trap tile away, creates a strength 662 blue attack tile. So first off, this is a little bit confusing move. So just so you understand, so this countdown tile, if it goes off, it sets off all the traps and does a lot of damage. So if your enemy, if it matches the trap tile, then it creates an attack tile. If the enemy matches the countdown tile, the trap tiles remain on the board, which is very important in terms of figuring out how useful this move is. So because they remain on the board, you still have that potential to match them away for the additional attack tiles. And um, so somebody could, for example, you could have Jean Grey use her purple to get rid of the blue countdown tile, and all the trap tiles will still be out. So that is something to consider, and the attack tiles are quite high in strength, but let's just pretend every single move did go off. So you're going to have 4 traps times 1,300 damage. That's going to be about 5,400 damage, which is really not that high for a 10 AP move. It's decent. Um, and for the trap tiles, you're going to have a lot of attack tiles on the board. Imagine if each one of those blue matches was done separately. You could end up having 4 times 6, that's 2,400 in attack tiles out. So that's, even at 3, it's doing okay damage, but not that great, because you don't really know what's going to happen. But if you were to, say, bump it up at 4 covers, you're now going to be doing, the countdown tile is now only 2 turns, so it's much more likely to go off. And you're doing your trap tiles are going to deal more damage, both if they're matched away or if they explode. And finally, when you get all the way up to 5 covers, it's still 2 turns, but now they're doing 2,600 damage for each. That's going to be a total of around 10.5 thousand damage if this goes off. 10.5 thousand damage. That's all around 1,000 damage per AP. And it's only 2 turns, so it's okay chance of actually going off. Again, with these types of moves, though, it's both his purple so far and his blue, it really is not going to be played as well by the AI. They might put out the Detonator move when there's an easy blue match to make, and you might have the countdown tile destroyed right away. But still, like I said, you've got this other great potential with his attack tiles that he's creating. Imagine creating 4 of these attack tiles at 1,480 damage. You're going to be doing around 5,000 damage a turn from just attack tiles if they're all matched. So that's huge damage. Huge. Uh, so I really think this is a good move. And even if the AI screws up with the countdown tile, there's still the potential for these trap tiles to really be helpful. Now, let's take a look at his red moves. This is a bit more expensive. This costs 12 red AP. It's called Moving Target. Winter Soldier lobs a grenade towards his opponent and quickly draws his weapon, putting the grenade in his sights. Creates a 3-turn red countdown tile that deals 4,189 damage. If you match it away, deal 6,656 damage instead. So you want to be the one matching this tile because it'll do a lot more damage. If your enemy matches the tile, nothing happens. I guess they're catching the grenade and putting the pin back in. I don't know. Whatever. Um, so it's not that great damage. In fact, it's pretty bad damage if for 12 AP at 3 covers. Um, Even if you get it up to 4 covers, it's still starting to get closer to Hulkbuster damage, but still not really that good. Um, and finally, though, when you get up to 5 covers in red, it's still not that great if it just goes off. 10,000 damage. That it's good, but it's not great. But still, it is good. But if you match it away, you're dealing 13,800 damage. That's huge. That's well over 1,000 damage per AP. So, that makes Hulkbuster look like a wimp. Again, there's a lot of risk with this. The enemy can match. It's kind of funny because on the one hand, going from 3 to 4 covers, it gives you that extra turn that the countdown tile is out, so you can match it. But that's also an extra turn for the enemy to match it, which is very risky because then you might have nothing happen. So all of his moves are very tactical in nature in terms of when you want to use them and the best way to use them. So, but overall, I think he's got huge damage potential combined with the utility from his purple move. Um, so I think he's a pretty upper tier character, again, because of the AI's inability to properly use some of these tactical skills. I think that he won't be top tier for PvP because people won't be as afraid of his moves going off as much, especially since they're a little bit expensive, except for his purple, which for all we know, the AI might use that on an AP on a tile which there's no AP pool you currently have anything for. Um, so I think he's still a very good character, maybe just out of top tier when used by the AI, but I would add him to top tier when used by the player. I still wouldn't really use him against 5 stars like Iceman. I would use against a 5-star because his stun ability is so useful. Um, and Jean Grey because her ability to get rid of special tiles is so useful. But Winter Soldier, he does have some utility and he does have decent damage, but I just feel like it, it's not like he can really just stop a 5-star in its tracks. So I would really stick to using him only in the 4-star enemy tier. But let's take a look at him in action, and then maybe we can come back and discuss good teammates. Okay, so let's take a look at how he works out. So take into account he's currently boosted a lot because he's still a new character and I am in PvP. Um, so let's just take a look. So we want to try and get some... Let's try to get his purple out soon. Although actually, um, the hood is a 3-star, so I wouldn't really use him as a teammate, but for this purpose, he's okay because he can speed up the tiles. So let's see. Do we want blue? Yeah, let's take blue. So okay, so I stole 3 blue. I'm a little bit closer now to using blue on my own. And let's try to... It is so cheap, so you can really use it quite a bit in a match. So let's see. Ouchies. Okay, so... Well, I'm taking that blue. Okay, so I can use red. That's actually kind of an annoying location. Um, hmm. Okay, so hopefully they will not match it away. Let's see what happens though. Oh, they match it away. So it did nothing. Okay, let's see the detonator. Oh, I did not realize that these trap tiles are um, not just on other blue tiles, so that's good. So you can kind of make more use out of it. So, let's see what happens when I match it away. It did not make any attack tiles of my own. However, let's see what happens when I use Intimidation. It speeds it up. So now, I just need to make it one more turn. So that's pretty good damage. Um, but let's try to see about getting them to match the blue next, and also to try and get a red out successfully. Okay, so this is actually kind of tricky to, uh-oh. Winter Soldier is not looking good. I think I just need to throw it out and try my best to get it out. I am going to do that, and that. Okay, that's not looking good. I could use some more blue. Okay. Oh crap. Well, as you can see, against 4 stars, against 5 stars, he's still not really that great unless you can get lucky with a move going off. So let's see if we can actually try to play another round and get his blue to go off by them being matched. Okay, I think this should go a little bit better now because I've got my own 5-star to take some of the beating. Okay, so let's get some... I don't really need yellow. I want blue and red. And he hasn't matched red yet. That's quite annoying. Okay, let's see if we can get some... Okay, so... let's just throw this out, see what happens. Oh, come on! No! I tried so hard. Oh, wait, there we go. He matched it. Ouch. And 4-match activates it as well. So now we've got 2,500 damage tiles out there. So that's pretty useful, I think. I mean, look at that. Just 2 of them got matched, and he's doing 5,000 a turn. Again, remember that this is a... Oh, come on, stop! Too much red. This is a boosted one. Okay, I think this might work out okay. Nope. I just want a red. Is that too much to ask? Well, I'm just gonna chuck it out and see what hits. Don't match it. Don't match it. Oh, damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Well, it's a grenade going off. I mean, do you really need to see that? Stupid AI always matching my grenades. Oh well. Anyhow, the point is, he's a pretty good character, but as you can see, it can be very difficult to actually get his tiles to go off the way you want sometimes. Now, um, so, in conclusion, um, I think he's a good character. So let's look at who his good teammates are. So first off, we got to look at the fact that you're most likely going to want to use his purple most of the time, so that you can accelerate his other moves and stop your enemy from moving forward. So let's just pretend his purple is always going to be used. His blue is also really good for the cost. Again, it might not actually work out, but it's pretty good. So the red, I think, is much more situational because you don't really know for sure if you're going to be able to match it. And for that cost, for 12 AP, in a very powerful and common color, I mean, you've got Cyclops red, you've got Hulkbuster red, you've now got Drax red, although Drax kind of stinks, but um, there's a lot of reds out there that are good and a bit cheaper as well. So I think his red has potential, but it, it's so situational that you could use another character that has red instead of him to use his red. Um, but let's just pretend that you're going to use all 3 of his moves. So then we still need to get some yellow, some black, and some green. So who are yellow, black, and green characters? So we don't actually have any good uh, 4 stars that are yellow, black, and green. Um, we've got some 4 stars that have yellow, some black and green, some yellow, some green, some black. You got black and green but no yellow. Um, you got green. You got yellow and black. So you got yellow and green. So I mean, there's not really any characters that feel like yellow, black, and green, except for Venom. But Venom is just so bad. I don't see actually ever using him. So X-Force is also really bad. It's kind of funny and really annoying that the only characters with that color set are just so bad. I can not imagine using either of them. I guess Venom maybe if he's boosted, but even then, they're just such weak characters. Um, so, so who would I use? So again, it depends on who the third character is for PvP or if you're in PvE. But um, if I had some 5-star characters, I would actually use Jean Grey Phoenix because her purple, you could use it in place of the Winter Soldier's purple, and it could give you extra red on the board to actually match his red. In case you don't want to use Phoenix red, you can use Winter Soldier's red, and you could end up having a lot of match damage combined with the grenade going off. So that's one potential. Um, if you're kind of stuck in the 4-star land, you might want to go with um, the Ghost Rider character because you got an incredibly strong black and you have his green, so you can have two skills that you can use quite often. Um, you can use the Quake character. She can block AoE damage, which will keep your team alive longer. And you've got two moves that have strategic use. You can use Quake's Blue, which destroys selected color tiles, combined with Winter Soldier's Purple, and you can really have a lot of board control. You're going to have board shake from Quake's Green, board shake from her blue, and then Winter Soldier's tactical use of purple. You could really have a good team that can kind of fight off anything except direct attacks. And it's very annoying when you're playing against people that can't be hit with AoE and can only be hit with direct attacks. Um, in fact, if you really want to go crazy and if you're playing PvE, you could actually find a use for um, the Fang or for um, because with the yellow of Quake, you're preventing a lot of AoE damage. You add in the Thing, you're going to be preventing single target damage, and in PvE, you'll pretty much be invincible. You'll stop AoE damage with Quake. The Thing will jump in front of you and put up huge projectiles. Um, so, and you've got all the colors except for black, um, and you're doing huge damage. So it's really, I think that would be a really good way to use the crappy character that's the Thing and actually find a use for him. So I think that's actually a pretty interesting PvE team that you could use against really tough nodes. Um, but in general, I don't know if I would actually use Winter Soldier in PvP because of my above-mentioned reasons about his inability to be played well by the AI. But I still think he is a pretty top mid-tier character, bottom top tier, and he's definitely worth fighting for. So I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned. I'll be having other videos coming soon to discuss the new 5-star Iron Man and 5-star Captain America characters. Thanks.